That's what it's all about.
Okay.
Jordan Fly.
Jordan Fly.
Jordan Fly. We have a. I wish I should have just set the recorder down and just started from as soon as when I got here, because we had so much conversation. I was just like, "Fuck, man, I want to save all this for the podcast."
We could recap on it.
We can recap. We'll make it
Okay.
happen. It's all good.
Okay.
I want to start with talking about the city that we're in,
Okay.
St. Louis, Missouri,
Uh-huh.
because you've been here your whole life. You're born and raised here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the city has a terrible rap, but when you really live here, it's not as bad as it's made out to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, I don't want to discredit anybody's experience
Mm-hmm.
because there are some hard experiences for sure,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
But I was driving here, and we're right here next to Ferguson,
Mm-hmm.
right? And anybody who's not from here, who's only seen what was portrayed like through the media, they have a very different view of the city and what in that particular part, right? Where we're just right next to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's it like having grown up here, and let's just talk about that, right? Let's talk about the city and like what's it like growing up here, and what are your thoughts on that? You know what I mean? Because the city gets portrayed a very particular way, but you've been here your whole life,
Mm-hmm.
and you've seen the changes and the different things.
Well, growing up here, for me, I grew up back in the '80s. Kind of telling my age, but I grew up back in the '80s. So coming up, uh, I've seen a lot of things. Um, as I was saying before, I grew up in Laclede Town, and a lot of people that's not from the city or that's not familiar with the downtown area places or housing places that they had. And one of them was Laclede Town. Um, and it's actually the location of it was where Harris Stowe is now.
Now, was that we were talking about the high rises, right? They had the huge
Hmm.
buildings. Was that one of those areas, or what was the
Now,
housing like there?
the housing like there, it was more of a uh, what would you call it? It was more like how like a house set up like a four family flat kind of like thing, more like apartment style
Okay.
housing, but it was more of a house type of look. They were let's see, they did have like three levels.
Okay.
Um,
Like
so they
townhouses
it
or
just
like
like
quadplexes?
I guess you would say, because back then it wasn't like townhouse. You know, we
Yeah.
didn't we didn't really have them. Well, we didn't have them in the city.
Right. You said they were
Um,
like flats, so you said they were flats.
Yeah, they were like flats, but they kind of went up to a third level. So some people had second level, some people had third level, how
Okay.
they were built.
Okay.
So it was a community of them, that was down there throughout that area, um, leading all the way up to where A.G. Edwards is, off of Olive and off of what's that market right
Oh
there.
yeah, Olive and Market there.
Now, right
Is it
there,
Jefferson? I don't know.
right there near Jefferson, yeah. Now, right there, it was high rise. Those were high rise buildings, and they were turned into like upside down apartments. But before that, they were apartments as well. Now, they went as far as like 5 levels in the air.
Yeah.
Like
Oh shit.
I'm talking about you climbing like concrete steps going all the way up to the top.
Now, for the folks listening, when you say upside down apartment, what does that mean?
So what I mean by saying an upside down apartment is, I don't know who designed this or who idea it was, but the kitchen was upstairs of the apartment, and the bedrooms were downstairs.
That's so odd.
Yeah, I really don't know who created that. But
Goddamn, one pipe busts, everything's fucked.
yeah, because we're below it.
Oh shit.
So
Anyway,
I haven't seen that though anywhere else. So I guess that was just a one-time thing they were trying out.
yeah,
I haven't never seen that in anywhere else.
yeah. So you were there after you had left. That's where you had went as well. Like after they.
After they moved everyone out of Laclede town,
So the Clee Town was purchased. It was bought up.
yeah,
Property was bought up,
yeah,
and
the property
everybody's
was bought
moved.
up. They tore it all down. Everybody had to move.
So you guys just like got a notice. What was that like? So how did that work? Like you come
Now at that
home.
time I was young, so I'm really not um too familiar with that part of it.
Oh, okay. You
But
just know that you were.
I know that we had to move,
Oh,
and
okay.
then they moved whoever wanted to move up a little further before they closed those down. Um,
Try to stay in the neighborhood.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, everybody was trying to stay together. But after they closed them down up there, it was like everybody went everywhere. It just scattered everywhere.
yeah. So where did you
So,
go after those places?
North County.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
you noticed like a lot of people were kind of funneled up to North County.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Hmm.
Yep. Yep. They were.
That's
Um,
interesting shit.
and at the time, North County was a lot of housing. It was more a housing community, resident area.
Yeah.
But you look out there now, it's apartments everywhere.
Yeah.
Apartments everywhere. Apartments on top of apartments on top of apartments.
Hardly any houses.
You go down the street, you get an apartment. They don't have any room here. You go right up the street. You go right next door. It's so many apartments. It's ridiculous. You know. And with the low income and the housing stuff, they just it's like, okay, let's build an apartment here. We can have everybody move here. It's crazy.
Hmm. Yeah, that's an interesting thing.
And
That's
especially for the people that are not educated in those areas and know what people are telling them, and just
hmm
not taking anything, somebody's telling them. A lot of people don't know, you know.
yeah.
So
Like what don't they know?
they go with what they know. And if they say, hey, we'll move you into here, they gonna go with it.
Oh yeah. They don't ever ask questions.
Hmm.
I wonder why people don't ask questions. They just kind of go with the flow. A lot of people do that.
I don't know.
They're just like just whatever they're told or whatever the popular opinion is.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. You're not like that though.
Nah, 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 nah. Um, I actually, I don't know if it's just a privilege or just was honored, but I went to a private school. I was private school,
Oh,
and it was a private black school, which is still around today. Um, Storm and Stufflin is the name of it, and it was a it was very helpful. I believe in educating um, educating us on what we need to know. Um,
in what way?
in way of living, as well as how important family is, um, how important it is to treat others with respect.
So you were there. So was that through the entire like length of your schooling, all the way through high school? You
To
were
high
there.
school, to high school. Then I went to public schooling.
Oh, so you went to public schooling in high school.
Yeah, in high school.
Ah, what was that transition like? Was it like culture shock?
Man, I'm like, what president? I don't. All I know is African presidents. I don't know president.
For real?
Man, like what? I mean,
What were they teaching you at this other school?
they taught us.
But it was like a very particular curriculum. It sounds like.
Very particular. We did learn a lot of African history.
Okay.
So I grew up knowing a lot of that.
Oh,
That was a lot in my background of upcoming. Um, so when I got to high school, it's like, okay, write a report about Ronald Reagan. I'm like, he was a president.
that was it.
That's all I know.
Yeah,
You
Ronald
know,
fucking Reagan.
what I'm saying? It's like I don't know. So
Oh,
it was kind of a culture shock, but I'm very quick to adapt, and I learn. I'm a quick learner, and I knew about them. I knew about them, but
yeah,
just to say, you know, everyone else that's going to school and then hitting with this bow.
yeah,
Who is this person? What? So but
yeah. That must have been a fucking interesting transition for real. Did you have like a difficult time in high school?
nah.
No, you just adapted,
Mhm.
huh? So we were talking. So fast forward, the most interesting shit is always what's current, right?
Okay.
And you've been doing your own thing for the past, we fucking just figured out, what, 15 years now.
Mhm.
Now that's a very vague thing that I just said, that you've been doing your own thing. Like,
Mhm.
let's touch on all the shit that you're doing. Like, first, I think you said something very important earlier. You mentioned your grandfather and what he said. So let's talk about that, because I think that's a good starting point, um, to kind of take us through your, you know what I mean, your journey.
Um. Well, he always instilled and just you know was a person that was always showed me that to own your own stuff. Be your own boss. Um. He worked. He had jobs. He worked or whatever, but he was more uh, of a person that can do anything. Like you call him to do this, he was able to do it. So he found um, more. Uh, I guess it was more of you just having a better, a stress free life. Well, it's not stress free, but uh, a more controlled life with owning your own business and being your own boss,
Yeah.
versus having to get up and go and slave and do this
Yeah,
and
like he didn't want you guys to do that.
right.
Right.
So I always had the entrepreneurship mind frame.
Yeah.
Um, the schooling, going back onto the schooling, they taught us as well. Um, have your own thing. Create your own path. Be your own boss.
Mhm.
It was a point in time in school where we would have. I was in a class. It was an economics and law class, and we had our own stores. So everybody had to come up with the store they wanted to have for their business and what they wanted to sell, and all of that. You had to
Yeah.
get the inventory, you had to get pricing, the tax, and all this different stuff.
Right.
So I had like a convenience store. So I had like the supplies. You can buy supplies from me and little different stuff like that. So just doing those different things, always I kept in my mind that I wanted to own and be my own boss, as you would say.
Yeah.
Um,
Was that your first business experience
yeah,
doing that?
well, no, you know what? It wasn't. Now I'll go back with my grandmother because that's who I stayed with down in McLeod Town.
Okay.
So she would have a store, and everybody would come and buy from the Candy Lady store.
Uh-huh.
That's what it was back in the day, Candy Lady store, whatever. And so I would do like snow cones, and I think I did snow cones, pickles, and um, something else I did. I think I would like bake cookies or something I would do. So, because my grandmother was a caterer, she had her own catering business.
Okay. So she was an entrepreneur.
Yeah. She was an ex opera singer and she had her own catering business. So, um, that's what I would help her with, all the time. So I would dab in the kitchen and make cookies and then sell them and, stuff like that. So that's where I kind of started, you know, I guess you would say creating my own business.
Yeah, just start developing that
Yeah,
business sense, right? I
yeah,
mean, we all have a starting place. Often,
yeah.
a lot of times young, for me it was young. I actually had a I remember the first time I tried to make money. I was like, I'm gonna have a fucking yard sale.
Hmm.
I just went and like took toys that I didn't want and like I set on my porch and I just like lined them up. Of course I didn't sell shit. I didn't know anything at the time. And then after that, I remember being a little bit older and I got a lawnmower and I would just
Uh-huh.
fucking go door to door, try to get try to get lawns to mow. And my best friend and I, we would knock on doors when it was snowing and shit, and shovel snow and just like hustle the neighborhood. I think we were like 11 years old or 12 years old.
Been there. Been there. It's been there. Um, Me and my best friend, I used to cut grass. My dad had a lawn service, and I used to do it with him. And I got a little older and got my own equipment. Me and one of my best friends, we started a lawn service,
Yeah.
and it was crazy because we would come from the club and go cutting grass, and it was, oh
How old were you
man.
at this time?
At this time, I was around 22, around 22, 23.
Oh shit. What'd you guys
Yeah.
call it?
That's so funny you asked it. It was called Gutter Gutter um, Lawn Service.
Gutter lawn
And we
service.
did gutters, we did the line, and Gutter Gutter, it was a whole thing behind that.
What was the thing behind that? Well, fucking fill me in.
Well, the whole thing behind that was
See, what had happened
see
was,
what had happened was, back in the day, I'm a big Lil Wayne fan.
mm,
And I think it was back when he was doing albums. He had an artist called Gutter Gutter, and they had a couple songs, and it was just like a big thing that we'd just say all the time. So I was like, that kind of sound, this kind of sound like it could go with, the lawn service name. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So it was like it was sounding like hip, and it was sounding like it kind of went with the whole gutter thing too that we was going with.
Right.
So
You had
yeah,
this little inside joke too
yeah, a
with
little
it.
inside joke thing, but yeah, because they were like, "Why is his name Gutter Gutter?" and it was spelled like Gutter Gutter, like
Gutta.
Gudda,
Oh, DD.
Yeah,
I would have thought maybe
yeah,
say Gouda.
yeah.
No, maybe
Everybody thought
Gouda.
it was Gouda. We was like, you got to
Gouda.
know where we getting it from,
It's
So
like you're not St. Louis.
right, right.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, man.
Good shit. Good shit.
Mm.
Okay, so what happened with that business? You guys just said forget that.
Yeah, they got a little old. We got a little over that, you
Yeah.
know. So
Was that when you went into modeling?
that's funny because that was, I was doing that around the time I was modeling and after I was modeling. So it was just a hustle that I had on the side.
Oh, the
Then I
modeling
just,
was.
well, the line
Oh, the
service
lawn service
as
was.
well, yeah.
Never doing just one thing.
Nah, can't never do one thing. I'm always up to something. Got to keep a income coming.
You have to.
Yeah,
You have to.
yeah.
Do you ever worry? Because I worry sometimes about spreading myself thin. You ever worry about that?
Okay, so that's funny you say that. I spread myself thin. I finally noticed me spreading myself thin was earlier this year. And I probably been doing this for years and just haven't paid it no attention. Um, but I, I just try to do as much as I can, try to help people, and I'm just trying to always make sure I'm trying to be at stuff. And
Yeah.
I was walking around with walking pneumonia and didn't know it.
For how long?
It had to been for about I say that was about I say it may have been like a week or 2 weeks.
Really? So what was that? So what was going on at that time?
Uh, just I was doing a lot of promo and stuff. I was doing a lot of fashion shows. Um,
Yeah.
Just had a lot going on with my grooming business, and I just had stuff going on,
Yeah.
and just not really focusing on taking care of myself, eating right, and just doing all that stuff, and not even paying attention that your ass can't breathe. You was about to fall out some damn
Yeah. How
body.
are you feeling?
I didn't feel it for
I've never
real.
had pneumonia before. I don't.
Man, I didn't feel it until I got back to St. Louis.
Oh, so
Um,
you're traveling too?
I had traveled up to Chicago and came back. I wasn't feeling the drive though. I had someone drive me up. I wasn't feeling the drive, so that was kind of like giving me a sign too. But I started throwing up, and I couldn't stop throwing up. I just had fever, fever, fever. So I went in on a fever thing, and they were like, "You have pneumonia," and I'm like, "What? Pneumonia?"
Oh
And
shit.
they were like, "Yeah, you have walking pneumonia," and I'm like, they admitted me right to the hospital. It
That
was
could be some
just,
serious shit, bro.
yeah, it was like, man, you were too dehydrated and just, yeah.
Not drinking enough water, huh? Get enough
And that's
sleep.
crazy because I do drink a lot of water, but I guess I wasn't, getting enough rest and just not eating right.
Well, yeah,
And I wore myself thin with just not eating.
yeah. That'll fuck you up every time.
Hmm.
Every time. Dang.
Yeah,
So okay. So have you kind of revamped some things since then?
yeah, that right there kind of really woke me up and kind of scared me a little bit because I'm like pneumonia. I know people die from that type of stuff. So
If your immune system's compromised enough, absolutely. I have noticed because I've seen you promoing and whatnot like online, and dude, you don't fucking sleep, bro. That shit is not healthy.
oh man, I will wake up in the middle of the damn night and just get to going and
Yeah.
promoing and making flyers because I gotta have them for the next day and just man, it's a never ending story with me. That's why I kind of trying to take a break for this year, but some kind of way,
Yeah. Have you ever thought about like implementing some sort of just like self care practice? You know what I mean? Just like whatever it may be, but like for me, it would be like I like to go to bed early and like I
Mhm.
wake up early.
Okay.
So like ideally for me, it'd be like waking up at like 4:30 or 5 o'clock. Probably like 5 o'clock. Let's just say would be ideal. But typically, I'm up by at least 5:30, and I don't use an alarm. So
Okay.
getting up, drinking water, like getting some movement in for me. So just like stretching and just like opening up like all my joints and shit because I wake up stiff and it's just good to move the body.
Right.
And then like I like to read. So I've really fallen behind on like my self care, just like practice in the morning. But I
Uh-huh.
notice on the days that I do that, like I wake up, like I have like my structured water and I do the movement, like I just read and I just take a second. Man, that just sets the tone for the whole fucking day. And I just having that little structured time just makes a huge difference. And I mean that could be different for anybody, you know what I mean? But just having that time to take care of you
Hmm.
and just like getting enough rest,
Man,
man, that's a fucking game
let
changer,
me
bro.
go missing for 1 or 2 days on Facebook, and it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, but who cares? Fuck them.
It's like I have a life, and you know, it's not
Is
just
it that important
always
to get
right. That's why I
to
be.
get back to those people on Facebook? They'll always be
Oh,
there.
I see it now, and I will disappear,
Yeah.
and I won't post nothing, and then I'll come back posting. Or just social media. Period.
It can be exhausting.
Yeah, it really is. So I understand why people hire people to manage their pages and do all that.
Yeah, yeah. It's a grind. It's a full-time grind. The people,
Because it's very popular now.
yeah.
It's very
Yeah, I mean the
popular and
people who do it well,
don't get no rest.
they're fucking killing it. Like it's a full-time grind.
I'm talking about driving down the street at the stoplight, just order some food, like just a non-stop thing.
Yeah. Yeah. You have three businesses now? Three is what you're doing right
Yeah.
now?
Yep.
So
Yep.
you're doing the dog grooming.
Hmm.
Is that just kind of like a side hustle for you, or is that kind of like
Well,
a
that's my main
is
thing.
that your primary thing right
That's
now?
my primary thing. I have a lot of things going on with it. I just relaunched it as a LLC last month. So I have some upcoming things that I'm doing with it. So
What's it called?
Fly Store Pets.
Fly Star Pets.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you're doing the fashion designing, and that seems to
Uh,
keep you really busy too, though.
yeah, that's Fly Star Ink Clothing. That is definitely my baby that is springing and is growing and growing and growing. Um, I'm actually going to collab both Fly Store Pets and Fly Store Ink Clothing on a project next
Oh,
year.
so you're gonna do like a line for pets?
hmm
Oh, that'll be dope.
Yeah,
So you're
I've
gonna do
done
a
one
show for that as
before.
well?
I'm looking forward to planning some stuff out.
Okay.
I've done a show in the past. Some years ago, I did a show. It was called Paul the Runway. So I'm looking to bring that back to St. Louis in the 2019. So yeah,
That's what's up.
yeah.
Have you always just been a dog person?
Oh man, animals is like my passion.
Really?
Um, I've been to school. I'm actually a vet tech, vet assistant.
Oh, I was gonna
Um,
ask you if you I was like, so when you were a kid, did you want to be a vet? So
yeah.
you are a vet tech?
Mhm. Yep.
Oh
Yep.
shit! See, the onion just keeps getting fucking peeled. Where's peeling back layers, Jordan Fly?
So yeah, I'm definitely that's definitely my main passion and everything is animals. I'm
Oh,
looking forward to having a educational petting zoo in the near future
no, really.
to educate kids.
What kind of animals will be there?
All types of animals.
No bears.
Maybe, maybe,
No, we don't
maybe,
want that, bro. That's a lawsuit
maybe,
waiting to happen. You don't want fucking
maybe.
bears to pet.
Well, I got maybe
Shit.
cubs, like cubs.
Little cubs.
Yeah.
Oh
Take a
man.
picture with the cub or something. I got a couple friends that are into like those exotics
Yeah.
that do like exotic things,
You,
parties and stuff.
you ever feel like it's just like prison though for animals, zoos? Sometimes I feel that way.
I do when they keep them closed in,
Like
as far
I
as
can't
the
fuck with SeaWorld
cages.
anymore.
Yeah, I don't like them in the cages. I like them to be in the habitats, that they create for them,
Yeah.
where they're enclosed,
Yeah.
but not in the cage.
Yeah. Yeah. I
That's a
I
difference.
think some animals do well in captivity, but some it's just like, man, they're just so lethargic, but it's like for example, like the big cats. Those
hmm
things are predators.
Yeah,
Dude, if they got the chance, they're killing some shit.
yeah. Especially the ones, but most of them are raised as babies, so
They're just
they're
like
not.
raised in captivity their whole
Yeah, they're
life.
raised in captivity, so it's like they wouldn't survive. It would take a lot for them to survive out
They just
there,
haven't built those skills.
right? And throwing. It would be like throwing a 10-year-old in a river that don't know how to swim.
Huh. That's a interesting analogy for that. I've never really thought of it that way. I mean, I have thought, in the sense that, they would probably just get demolished because they don't have those skills. But I've never really thought of it that way.
Yeah,
It's a good way to put it.
yeah. I would. It's just like once they raise them in captivity, then I just would want them to um, have their habitats more based off of where they're from and how they live, how their
Yeah.
relatives live
Yeah.
out in the wild. So I wouldn't want a tiger to be enclosed in a ponded area. Well, they do swim in the jungle, but I wouldn't want a tiger to be enclosed in a desert area, you know,
Yeah.
that's real dry,
Yeah.
with
Well,
limited water. I would want him to be in big pooled area with nice leaves and flowers like he's in the jungle,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah. But what about the I like it so you could create a space that would kind of look like or emulate where they're from or what their natural
hmm
habitat.
hmm
But what about like the space factor? You know what I mean? So I mean, I don't think you like I mean, I guess they have wolf sanctuaries, but like
Yep,
wolves,
they
right?
do.
Wolves can cover hundreds of miles, and
hmm
you cannot account for that in the zoo. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So just think of it like, what if you could only like you could only be in your neighborhood. You can never leave your neighborhood.
Well,
It's like, well, that that emulates the whole city, or that emulate, but it's just your neighborhood.
true. Um, wow.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm so conflicted on it, right? Because we all like to go look at these things, and it's like,
I love to see him in the wild.
I would love to go, but not everybody can go to the wild and see them in their natural habitat. So it's cool to be able to see them. You know what I mean? But then on that same note, it's like, God, man, they're just like in prison. I don't know. I don't know. But that'd be cool though. A fucking a place to teach kids.
Right, right. It definitely would. Um, and I love to educate. I wanted to do a couple. Man, my time is just never there. Like I wanted to do work with this summer program and do a lot of education because I have a lot of animals
Mm-hmm.
myself and just do some education on it. A lot of these kids, they don't just want dogs and cats.
Yeah.
They want lizards. They want a
Yeah, I
bird.
heard you mention you had a chameleon.
Well, I have a bearded dragon.
Oh yeah.
I had iguana. He just passed. But you know, uh, I have a ferret.
Ooh, ferrets. I used to want one as a kid all the time. I was like,
Man,
Mom, get me
he's
a
so cool. He's
ferret.
deaf though. Bless his little heart, but uh, he's really cool. Like he's bad, but but
They've been known to steal.
oh, he's a still. You know what though? I can say he's not in his stealing stage yet. He's in his chewing stage.
Always chewing on things.
Oh yeah, he'll attack your feet, your
Oh,
socks, the
golly.
shoes. He'll drag them, chew on the end of shoes. He's just at that stage.
Yeah.
But he's really cool. You would think he could hear just how he responds to you. When I let him out, I let him run around, and he doesn't go and doesn't come back. He'll come right back to his house. So he's still alert and everything, but I had some ducks previously, and
Yeah,
I don't have a
I don't have the patience. I feel like it takes a very special person
yeah,
to have a pet,
yeah,
and
because you have to have patience.
you have to have patience, and you have to have like the willingness and like the time
Hmm.
to dedicate to them.
Hmm.
So I always say like I'm a terrible owner, and it's not because like how like it's just the fact that I'm just so busy doing so many things. I just don't feel like I would be able to give them the adequate time that they need.
So would you like if you were ever in a position to own pets, would you have someone taking care of them and still own them?
See, now why would I do that? Why would I have a pet if I'm not going to take care of it?
Well, just to say like, okay, now I have time.
If I had the time, man, you know what I want? I fucking love huskies.
Hmm.
Because they remind me of wolves.
Hmm.
You know what I
They
mean?
are very pack instinct type of breed.
But they need a lot of space, and they're very active dogs. You
They
know what I
definitely
mean?
need to run.
Yeah. So like, I would want to be able to, and I'd also want to live in a place that wouldn't suck for that animal, right? Like, I wouldn't want to take that animal to the desert because they're not meant for the fucking desert.
No, they're not.
You know what I mean? But people will have certain animals just wherever they live, and it's just like, man, this is probably not the best environment for that particular animal. So, I mean, I would have to take those things into account. But yeah, those dogs are pretty fucking sweet.
They really are. My mom wants one of those. I'm like, you don't want that dog. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, well, growing up, my grandmother I think she had a couple huskies. And
Hmm.
so I can remember just, I don't really have too many memories, but I can remember like good feelings being around the dog. You know
They're
what I
very
mean?
pack instinct. They're very. Uh, they will. Like if you don't, if you're not, firm with them, they will control you.
You
Um,
gotta be alpha.
oh yeah,
I have no problem doing
They
that.
will alpha you. And have you scared. I've had some clients in situations like that when I used to work at a animal hospital. Um, and yeah, they're very pack type dog. So you let them know that you're the top pack leader, and they cool. But if you let them just do them,
It will do them.
ooh, there'll be something else you won't be able to control.
Do you train dogs?
I have in the past. I can train dogs. I just again don't never have the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't do it all. I was just wondering if it's like a skill that you have. Not
Yeah,
necessarily whether it's something that you do like as a business
yeah,
or anything like that, but
yeah.
if it's just something that you can do.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yep.
man. Yeah, you gotta have a firm hand. You gotta have a firm hand. So, what's your third business?
Um. So the third business is I haven't really been doing too much with it, but I have a management company as well.
Yeah,
Um.
management. What kind
Mhm.
of talent are you managing? So I know you kind of you have a fighter, right?
Yeah. I have a fighter that I work with. Um. He's an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
Um. So I've been doing some stuff with him. And then I have a dancer,
Okay.
a entertainment dancer, male entertainer. Um,
A male entertainer.
hmm
Oh shit.
yeah, for the
How
ladies.
do you
Yeah.
manage that?
It goes pretty well. He's actually one of my models,
He
too.
models too. So what does
hmm
he do? Does he do like private
Yeah, he does like,
gatherings and shit?
yeah, he does parties, bachelor party. I mean, bachelorette parties and
Fucking raking in the
retirement
dough.
parties. Yeah, he does all that type of stuff.
Retirement parties.
Yeah, he does it all. Birthday, retirement, ladies' night out. You name
He
it.
just goes in
He's the
there and just
guy.
starts slapping in the face with his huge cock.
Yeah, yeah. His
God
name's
damn.
Trouble. Trouble. Yep.
God damn. That's.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
Oh, what else? Who else? What else? What kind of other?
I'm
I
working on
imagine
some
you
other
got some models and
things.
stuff, rather.
Yeah, I got some models. I'm looking to relaunch my little model crew in the upcoming year. They're the Flyy models.
Okay.
So I'm looking to launch that. I'll have kids as well. So we'll have adults and kids, Flyy models, and um, I'm looking to drop my first pet model, um, and that would be my son, Basil.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
hey, Basil.
Is he gonna have his own, or do you already have a like an Instagram page or
Yeah, he has his
anything?
own Instagram page. Come here, son. Come here, let the people see you. What have you been doing? You're wet.
He's been in and out of here.
So he has his own IG page. He is a 2-year-old Frenchie that has a lot of personality, and he has a
I like their
uh,
heads. It kind of reminds like a bigger dog, right? But
but so short, like so,
yeah.
and it's still like it's like a man's dog. You know what I'm saying? Um, but his he has a couple things coming out as far as dog products that we'll be launching as well. Actually, tomorrow we're having him a birthday party at a friend of mine. Let me rent out her salon,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna have him a second birthday. His birthday was last Sunday, but it rained out on us. We had it out at the park, so we had to reschedule it for tomorrow.
What are you gonna do?
It's gonna have a lot of things going on. We're gonna have a best dressed dog contest. We're gonna have. I'm gonna do a best trained dog contest. We're gonna have a little different little doggy little games for them to play.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking to bring something as far as geared towards pets and
Yeah.
party wise. I
Yeah.
do parties for pets and all of that.
Really.
hmm
You clearly follow your passion,
Yes,
and you've
yes.
been fucking doing it for a decade and a half.
Yep,
That's fucking awesome, dude.
yep.
I just love that because you know you can just like you can make it happen. You know what I mean? If like willing to put in the
It's a
work.
lot. It's a lot, and you'll get discouraged, and go through depression, and you go through I don't want to do this no more, and just
Holy
all of this
shit,
stuff, you
dude.
know. Um, but I just always keep in mind I don't have any kids, so
That helps.
I'm looking to one day have kids, and I need to have something already for them set up.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to go and slave at work, you know,
Right.
doing a 9 to 5, something I don't want to do. I want to be happy with what I'm doing. Um, I want to already have something created for them,
Right.
um, when they come. So, and I'm saying they because I think they're going to be twins.
You're your
Um,
twins?
yeah, my mom's a twin, and
Oh, really? So they run in your
mhm,
family? Oh,
mhm,
shit. It could be.
mhm,
It very well could be. When you think you're gonna
mhm.
have kids, dude, you look like you're fucking. You're like
Oh shit!
you're a fucking vampire.
Oh
And if
shit!
and if it wasn't daytime right now, I'd be convinced of that,
Oh shit!
bro.
I'm gonna
You
have
look so
some
good.
before I go into that next age of life,
Yeah,
hopefully, and that has to be real soon.
yeah. Cause, dude, I mean,
So you're just gonna go to sleep right here. We're live, dude.
you're maintaining so well. I mean, you're 39, right?
Next year.
Next year, 39.
Yeah,
So
I'm
you're
30.
38 years old.
Hmm.
And man, like, I mean, you easily look like you're in your 20s.
Um,
Black
Woo,
don't
it's
black don't crack. Black don't crack. It's that juice. It's
yeah,
that juices and berries.
yeah. It's definitely health is definitely a big thing.
It's very important.
I'm I noticed you're very big on health.
Oh man,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm all
yeah,
about it.
yeah,
Yeah, that's how I
yeah.
want to make my living.
Right. And so it's I started really appreciating health and looking at health as a way of helping you live a stress-free life, uh, a more healthier life,
Yeah,
as far as being sick and stuff all the time. Because I'm not a big person in and going into the doctor and getting all these medicine and prescriptions and all this stuff.
yeah. That's not real healthcare. That's sick care. You know what I mean? So many people think that's the answer, and I love modern medicine. There's some things that it's absolutely great for, but
Hmm.
yeah, no. Stress management is a part of it. You know,
Hmm.
reducing your stress, and
Hmm.
but that and that's not just like stress that we typically think of whenever it's like, oh, I'm stressed about like a bill. Like it can
Hmm.
also be like the air that we're breathing. You know
There
what
you
I
go.
mean? Like the
There you
stresses
go.
from the food that that we're eating. Like, are we eating shitty food? And
Hmm.
we want good stressors. Some things are good stressors. Like exercise. You know what
Yep.
I mean? Like, are you getting
Stress me out
sun?
with this workout.
You know what I mean?
You
It's
know?
a good stressor. So
Hmm.
yeah, man, you take care of the health. I mean, I love this quote that sooner or later,
Okay.
your health will be your number one priority. At some
Yes.
point, it will be.
Yes.
Just you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
you either pay for it now, or you pay for it later. I hear
Right, and
people.
it's like don't wait till later.
It's too late.
People, it's like now, do it now.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to get away from meat.
Why is that? Do you
I'm
not do well with
noticing.
it?
No, well, I don't. I barely eat it now. I don't eat chicken. I don't eat pork.
Okay.
I'm very, very,
You just
very
eat beef.
particular with beef.
Yeah.
I'm not a big steak person. Um, but I'll eat some beef.
You eat quality beef.
Quality beef.
I mean, as long as you're eating like
Hmm.
grass finish beef is. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I would say, and everybody should take an individualized approach, like whatever's best for them. Whoever says that one thing is better over the other, like I mean, that's nonsense. Because some things work for some, and some things work for others. So I mean, if you're not having any issues with beef, I mean, I wouldn't say cut it out. But if you feel like you need to cut it out, then do
Yeah,
it. But I
yeah,
mean, shit, man.
yeah. I want to like really stem away from it and only because I will. I'm not gonna lie. I will. Every beef is not quality that I ingest.
Yeah.
But I try to like consume that type of it. Um, um, in
You
particular, as far as like with burgers and stuff. I try to eat quality burgers.
right.
Now I may eat like some beef and noodles or something, like that to where it may just
Yeah. So it sounds like you might like a lot of carbohydrates, which could be a if you're not eating quality carbohydrates as well, that could definitely stem into a lot of health issues,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
that's usually the case for a lot of people.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong with carbs. I mean, I just feel like if you're getting them from a whole food source, potatoes,
Mhm.
rice, quinoa, if it cooked in the pressure cooker, ideally on the quinoa, um, oatmeal, like these things are perfectly fine for you. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? But then when you start getting like the refined, processed, you're getting breads and you're getting pastas and just,
Mhm.
the different things like that, that shit will fuck you up.
Mhm. Yeah, and I try to stay away from the pastas. Although I be trying to get my my bulk, and try
Yeah.
to. So I try to dab with my stuff, but I really love rice.
Rice. Hey, man, rice is my
Yeah,
jam.
yeah. I
I
really
like it.
love it. I really love it.
Oh, you know what I love? I love Thai curry. Have you had Thai curry? Like
No,
curry from?
no, I haven't.
Oh man, I love Thai food.
Okay.
And
I love all types of food. Um, I'm definitely a big fan. In those areas as far as Indian food.
you like Indian food?
Hmm.
Where's the jam around here? What do you like? Have you been to? I think it's called Haveli. I might be fucking that
I
up.
know
It's
what you're
on
saying.
Page.
I've seen it. I haven't been there.
Bro, go check them out. They
Okay.
got a buffet. I'm not a buffet guy. I don't fuck with buffets.
Okay.
I will have their buffet though, cause it's fresh. It's always
Fresh. Okay. Now,
rotating.
if it's a fresh buffet, that's
Their
always a
man, it
plus.
is so good.
Okay.
Like there's no reason to choose because all their food is so good.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
what were you gonna say?
Um. Uh. What was the place that I go to? I'm trying to think of the name of it. Um. Uh. I can't think of the name of it, but it's down on
It's
Washington.
on Washington,
Hmm.
downtown.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um.
I don't think I know it either.
I can't think of it, but I love their food. It's really
No,
good.
no
It's really good.
worries. No,
It's really good.
no
I like
worries.
sweethearts. Have you had sweethearts?
No, I keep hearing good things though.
Oh, that food is good.
Yeah,
Vegetarian
we have a
spots.
really good food scene here in St. Louis, and people are sleeping on that.
They really are. Because they
Yeah,
still stuck on like fast food crap.
yeah,
Because they're trying to entice everyone with the new stuff and all the new this and new
yeah,
that. I don't eat anything. The only thing I may eat is White Castle.
yeah.
And
I
it's
can't.
just,
Yeah, if I go to a party or something and like they have White Castle there, I would certainly eat one or two. I can't help it sometimes,
but I'm
but
not eating any Burger King, McDonald's, none of
yeah, I
that
don't.
stuff. I don't eat chicken, you know.
Yeah, I don't eat out. I mean, I don't eat fast food.
Hmm.
But man, there's this great Afghani restaurant. I feel like
Which one?
I feel like most people say Afghani, but I worked
Mhm.
with a guy from like
Afghani.
yeah, it's
So,
Afghani.
right, because
So
it's Afghanistan.
yeah, exactly.
So,
Yes, you know.
yes, I have
Anyway,
friends from there. So,
so and it's over on Manchester in the Grove, and I think it's called
I think I've eaten there. Is it right near
Samim.
the corner? Almost near the corner?
Yep, I think it's called
Yes.
Samim. I do believe it's
I've
called. I
eaten there.
might.
And you have to walk around the back and fix your food?
No,
Is that the
I think we're
place?
talking about a different spot.
Okay.
No, it's like you walk in this place. It's
A
like walking
bar?
to a little shop.
Uh-huh. And it's
And
a bar right at the front of it?
there's
Like
no
a,
bar.
okay.
Well, yeah, there's like a little small little bar where they check people out. It's like
And they make drinks there
more
or
like a counter.
something?
No, it's like a countertop
Okay.
really. Less of a bar, more of a countertop.
Okay. Maybe that's not the same
Probably
place.
not the same place, but man, it's a fucking little gym is what it is. It's so
Okay.
delicious.
Okay.
There's so many spots.
Yep. I swear, like one day I want to just go and just start out at a certain time and just eat everywhere. Just dab.
Yeah.
Grab a little like start or something from here. A little,
Yeah. You ever go to the Taste?
yeah.
I went to it. My brother and I. We went to it last year. I think it was. It was out in Chesterfield, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a fucking. I think that was right when a cop. Yeah, it was last year. There's a ruling, and this is how fucking unplugged I am. There's a ruling, and it was like a cop had gotten off whenever, like he had killed somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and he had gotten off. So they were like,
Really?
yeah, there was a BLM fucking protest like in the middle of the Taste.
Shut up.
I had video of it. I think I just recently got rid of
Oh
it.
my
I probably should have
gosh.
kept it, but I was like, I don't fucking need this video.
Yeah.
But anyway, the reason I brought that up, that's never fuck that. Never mind that. they moved it out there, and I feel like it went downhill because whenever they first had the taste, it was downtown. That was the shit. There was so many places there
And I don't know
that
why
aren't
they
there
didn't
now.
bring it downtown to where under the new arch, under the arch
Ooh, maybe they'll do it.
platform.
Maybe they will next year, because I think they're still doing construction at the arch. It just
Uh,
finished, right?
I thought they were finished because they just been having some stuff down there.
I don't know. I think
Uh,
they just recently finished.
they did the ribbon whenever they had their ribbon cutting down
It's
there.
pretty recent. I know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It wasn't last year. I don't know. I wish
Uh,
they'd bring it downtown because there's just a larger variety of food. I realized the first time they had it when it was downtown compared to whenever I went out there last time. And maybe it was just my mind. I don't know.
yes,
I,
they did.
I could be wrong, but good shit, man. Well, Jordan Fly, we've had a great
Yeah,
conversation. How can
yeah.
the folks get a hold of you? Say hi, get in touch, learn
Man,
about what you're doing.
the
What do you
people
want to
can
plug?
catch me. Well, really, I could just plug my name and you can Google me. I mean, it's. I'm quite sure everything will pull up. Um,
You want to direct anybody anywhere in particular?
uh,
I'm gonna put links in the show notes, but I just figured if you wanted to plug something,
I
shit.
mean, you can follow. Of course, you can follow and check my business website out. My pet grooming business. That's at www.flystar. Fly is with two Y's and star.com. Um, that's my website. Do bear with me if you're trying to contact me and leave a message. Please call the number because I don't know what's going on with the website right now, but the guy is supposed to be doing something.
Yeah, fucking website.
Also, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Jordan Fly, two eyes. Jordan like the river, flies with two eyes.
How'd you come up with that?
I was named after the river, Jordan.
No, Fly. How'd you add that?
Well, that's a good one. Um, Fly came from me hearing it so much. Um, Everywhere I would go,
Yeah.
they would say, "That's so fly. You so fly, man. You fly, Jordan. He fly. Look at him, y'all." And
That was it. You're like,
that was
shit,
it.
I'm Jordan Fly, nigga.
And
Shit.
so once I got to really brand him, because from me doing this over a decade, I didn't really brand myself as far as myself. I just branded my business
Yeah.
self. So to go into branding myself, I had to create myself. So
Hey,
I
man.
created Jordan Fly.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. That's a good point. That's a good, definitely point to end on because you can create the life that you want.
Man, it's a lot more. So
All right.
somebody will get an autobiography one day.
One day.
One day.
All right. All right, brother. Hey, man. Well, I appreciate you taking the time.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Everybody else,
I really like this.
until next time.
Peace out, y'all.